are watching NTA, Nigerian Television Authority. For more information and news updates, visit our website at www.nta.ng, or you can follow us on Twitter at NTA News Now, or you can like us on Facebook at NTA Network News. Stay connected on our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/NTA News Online. Watch our live stream at www.nta.ng/live. NTA, you can't beat the rich.
UAC Unscripted. Hilarious.
Go shorty, it's your birthday. Go shorty.
Unscripted.
Talk something, talk something. Okay.
UAC Unscripted. Nigeria's newest family fun. Showing on NTA Network, 8:30 p.m. every Monday. UAC Unscripted. Comedy uncensored.
NTA, you can't beat the rich.
Ngozi and Ebiri have some things in common. They are young, smart, beautiful, and both have a common desire to see Adams suffer for his crimes against them and many others. Wale and Enuga Productions presents a tale with the ultimate twist from this life family drama entitled A Change of Heart. Starring Livinus Inochiri, Kate Adefigba, Dejumo Lewis, Henrietta Kusoko, Yemi Sholade, Rose Odika, Kunle Kauka, Yeni Ejide, Toyi Aimaku Johnson, Wale Adebayo. Change of heart. Sometimes to forgive is not your decision to make.
For over 25 years, I have been privileged to anchor various programs on television. But the news program that I find most exciting and challenging is The Weekend File. This is largely because of its philosophy of engaging all classes of people, the artisans, politicians, technocrats, captains of industry, and professionals.
Tonight, celebration of crucifixion of Jesus Christ.
If anyone reads that memo, he will see that there is nothing in the memo that has anything to do with anything other than success of the president and the progress of the country.
Governor El Rufai joins President Muhammadu Buhari in Jumat prayer, defense letter to the president.
Members, after being maltreated, decided to look into the accounts of the university.
SANU president calls for protection of whistleblowers in Nigerian universities.
This judgment has now rekindled my energy to work for the people of Edo State.
Plus, celebration in Benin as Election Petition Tribunal gives judgment in favor of Governor Godwin Obaseki. A very good evening and thanks for joining us on the NTA Network News for tonight. I am Fumi Wakama and compliments of the season to you. Nigerians have been called upon to endure the country's current economic situation with steadfastness, uprightness, and prayers to positively turn around her fortunes. This was the message of the Catholic Archbishop of Abuja, John Cardinal Onoyeka, at the occasion on Good Friday celebration in Abuja. Olajide Bello has details.
Good Friday is a Christian holiday commemorating the crucifixion of Jesus Christ and his death on Calvary. It is observed during the Holy Week as part of the Paschal Triduum on Friday preceding Easter Sunday and may coincide with the Jewish observance of Passover. In Abuja, it all started with the Station of the Cross at Holy Rosary Catholic Church, depicting the suffering and crucifixion of Jesus Christ. Catholic Archbishop of Abuja, John Cardinal Onaiko, and Vicar of St. James Anglican Church, Venerable Principal Iriaba, spoke on the significance of Good Friday in Christendom.
God has a way of arranging and arranging the balance so that what seems to be an unjust punishment can bring out something better out of life.
We see it as the way through which God has reconciled man to himself. And that's why it is good, because God's purpose has been accomplished.
Those of us that are leaders in our various level, at our various level today, can give 10% of the sacrifice of Jesus. Our nation, our continent, our world will be a better place to live today.
The clergy called on Nigerians to always embrace love and peaceful coexistence and shun all forms of violence for peace to reign supreme in Nigeria. In Abuja, Olajide Bello, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Christians in Damaturu, the Yobe state capital, Enugu and Port Harcourt, joined their counterparts the world over to commemorate Good Friday. It was a moment of sober reflection on the persecution and crucifixion of Jesus Christ for the atonement of sin of mankind.
To make us lighter for our flight to heaven.
So today is the day that we Christians grieve. We grieve very, very much for the suffering of Jesus Christ.
We call it Good Friday because dying, He destroys our death. Rising, He restores our life.
Christians were urged to always exemplify the lessons of the Lenten period in their daily endeavors and also use the period to fervently pray for President Muhammadu Buhari's administration, which is poised to take in the country to enviable heights. Good Friday is a Christian holiday commemorating the crucifixion of Jesus Christ and his death at Calvary. Ruben Okala has a report on the significance of the day in Christendom.
History has it that as early as the 1st century, the church set aside every Friday as a special day of prayer and fasting. It was not until the 4th century, however, that the church began observing the Friday before Easter as the day associated with the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. First called Holy or Great Friday by the Greek Church, the name Good Friday was adopted by the Roman Church around the 7th century.
A godly man, for that matter, gave his own life, surrendered himself even to death, in order to bring about reconciliation between God and man.
The death of Christ on Calvary is a substitutionary in nature, redemption in nature, a propitiation in nature.
Good Friday rituals and traditions are distinct from every other church observance. They add to Good Friday's significance.
The statement he uttered in pain, they are statements of care, statements of concern, statements of love.
On a day like this, sermons are not in short supply, as clerics are using the pulpits to preach to the conscience of believers. So, what lessons are there to be learned from a day like this?
Nation builders must be willing to sacrifice. There's too much of taking out of Nigeria and not giving enough back to Nigeria. That is something that we can change as citizens.
We need to love each other, love one another, and also we should put other first.
The message of the day is loud and clear. The suffering and death of Jesus on the cross has paved the way for the redemption of mankind. Ruben Okala, NTA News.
As Christians celebrate Easter, Senate President Bukola Saraki has called for mutual respect among adherents of the various faiths in the country. In a message signed by Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Yusuf Olaniyono, the Senate President urged all Nigerians to unite in confronting challenges facing the nation, as well as rededicate themselves to the service of God and humanity. Senator Saraki reiterated commitment of the Senate to supporting efforts of the current administration towards building a peaceful and prosperous nation under the leadership of President Muhammadu Buhari. Speaker of the House of Representatives Yakubu Dogara has felicitated with Christians on the occasion of Easter, which signifies the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ. In a statement by his Special Advisor on Media and Public Affairs, Turaki Hassan, the Speaker implored Nigerians to use the occasion to be more committed in rising above challenges facing the nation through abiding faith in God. He said the legislature will continue to collaborate with the executive in improving the living standard of Nigerians. And the FCT Minister, Muhammad Musa Bello, in his Easter message, has urged Nigerians to spread the gospel of love, sacrifice, tolerance, and peaceful coexistence, virtues exhibited by the Lord Jesus Christ while on earth. He also implored FCT residents to take advantage of the Easter celebration to rededicate themselves to the service of God and humanity. He appealed to all to continue to be their brother's keeper, irrespective of religious belief. And still on religious matters, religious extremism and lack of tolerance have been identified as some of the major causes of global terrorism and conflict that have claimed many lives and property worth billions of dollars. Chief Imam of Air Force Base Jumat Mosque, Ustaz Lukman Abiodun Lawal, while delivering Jumat sermon, also offered special prayers for the commemoration of the 53rd anniversary of the Nigerian Air Force. Ilyasu Ali Yakubu has that report.
A major issue on the front burner threatening global peace today is terrorism, which is also threatening global economic viability. Nigeria got her own share of the threat due to the activities of Boko Haram and other religious and communal conflicts across the country. The Chief Imam's sermon was in tune with global happenings as he enjoined Nigerians to be tolerant, even as the day coincided with Good Friday, set aside by Christians to commemorate the triumphant entry of Jesus Christ into Jerusalem.
Nigerians, we are brothers. Allah says in the Quran that He created us from one single soul.
Chief of Air Staff Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar said the week-long 53rd anniversary of the Nigerian Air Force with the theme Employment of Air Power for Enduring National Security will serve as a renewed vigor in mopping up remnants of Boko Haram and rescue of Chibok girls.
The President and Commander-in-Chief will induct the newly acquired, one of the most sophisticated helicopter gunships in the world in Makurdi. And these gunships will be deployed immediately to add value to what we are doing in different conflict areas.
The Imam later led the congregation in the 2 rakat prayers. In Abuja, Ilyasu Ali Yakubu, NTA News.
And still in commemoration of Easter, a call has gone to Muslims and Christians to unite as brothers and sisters given the common Abrahamic origin of both religions. The call was contained in Friday's sermon by Imam of the State House Mosque, Sheikh Abdul Wahid Abubakar Suleiman. Addressing the congregation made up of President Muhammadu Buhari, some members of the National Assembly, ministers and the governors of Kaduna and Ogun, Malam Nasir El-Rufai and Ibikunle Amokusun, the Imam emphasized the need for unity among the followers of the two religions, asking them to share kindness and hospitality. He said all human beings belong to God, adding that Muslims have the duty to follow the path of Prophet Muhammad as identified in the Quran. Imam Abdul Wahid urged Muslims and Christians to unite behind the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari. Governor Nasir El-Rufai of Kaduna State has explained that the much talked about letter to the president was basically inputs from him in giving veritable sense of direction to the government in executing its programs and objectives for the good of the people. Speaking with State House correspondent Jide Onifade after the Jumat prayer at the presidential villa, Malam Nasir El-Rufai says he is, however, appreciative of the tremendous progress made by the administration afterwards.
The governor did not deny being the author of the said leaked memo that has generated diverse views, but stressed that this was only a memo written with good intention.
If anyone reads that memo, he will see that there is nothing in the memo that has anything to do with anything other than success of the president and the progress of the country. That is my goal, that is my motive, and I'm driven by that, and I stand behind the president to the very end. And so there is improvement, and I believe that part of what I recommended to the president is being implemented. Whether it's because of my memo or not, it's being implemented. The country is moving forward, and I'm grateful to God for it.
He maintained that his relationship with the president is still intact, and that it was only right to give good advice to leaders for the nation to move forward. The governor earlier joined the president to observe Friday's Jumat service. In the State House, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
You can watch this news live online via the NTA mobile app, which you can download on your Android device at the Google Play Store or at the Apple Store if you use devices with iOS. Still to come, celebration in Benin as election tribunal rules in favor of Governor Godwin Obaseki. Plus, Hamid Makarfi Group of the PDP maintains stand to pursue case at the Supreme Court. These and more when we come back.
From what we have seen, we have the capacity which we can rapidly develop or feed in ourselves. If we don't import rice, we stop importing corn and other grains, Nigeria will have plenty of money to invest into developing industries, especially manufacturing, textiles and so on, and develop iron and steel, and complement the infrastructure development. So really, the opportunities are virtually limitless, and we are very, very aware of this, and we are prepared to exploit it to the fullest.
When the kings of African comedy gather under one roof,
there is only one outcome. Then we bring down the roof. Come witness the craziest and the funniest, the oh my God, and the baddest of them all. Laughter will scatter your brain well.
Come watch the biggest names in African comedy at Glow Laughter Fest. Basketmouth, Bovi, I Go Die, Sheyi Law, Gordons, Salvador, Osama, Bash, Kenny Black, and many more.
You will never have a bigger gathering of jaw-dropping, whip-cracking comedians under one roof. One microphone, one network.
all over Nigeria. Yeah, I'm gonna be there.
I am gonna be there. I'm going to be there.
Live and direct.
For the time of your life.
Will you?
To win a free ticket, use 2,000 Naira in a month and text LOL and your preferred location to 240.
Oh, Laughter Fest. Laugh go kill you, die.
True.
Glow Unlimited.
There is a reason Africa is called the new frontier. What was once potential is now an opportunity ready to be seized. Once revered for our resources, today's wealth is in our people who build the cities that shape the future. People who know an idea in one place means business in another. A generation for whom technology means there are no borders, no boundaries. We are the new lions in a brave new world, kings of the urban jungle. And there's a bank that puts the world in our pocket and the future in our hands. Africa's global bank.
It is with joy that I've received Her Excellency's gifts.
I want to say that may God continue to bless and reward her. And so, on behalf of Garki Hospital, we are grateful.
That scenario will not happen.
The insurgency has been contained and agricultural production is bouncing back. Nigeria is working towards food sufficiency.
So FAO, thank you for coming. We discussed we're going to need your help in expanding agriculture, in introducing new crops for local consumption and export. We need to make the rural people richer and happier than they are now.
We must become a nation where we grow what we eat and consume what we produce.
You're still watching NTA Network News this Good Friday, and we'll begin this segment with party politics. The Hamid Makarfi Group of the People's Democratic Party has dissociated itself from any meeting or national convention to be convened by the party's national chairman, Senator Ali Modu Sheriff. At a media briefing in Abuja, the group maintained that its stand to pursue its case at the Supreme Court still stands. Political correspondent Abdullahi Garba Kudu reports.
As a fallout of the failure of the peace meeting organized by former President Goodluck Jonathan to reach a truce between the two groups, it appears the political solution to PDP crisis is not in sight, as observed by political analysts. This manifested in the position of the two disputing groups. While the Sharif leadership insists on organizing a national convention, the Makarfi group kicks against it. The Makarfi faction urged all organs of the party to disregard any meeting not emanating from the group.
Nigerians should pray for us, for the Supreme Court to decide this matter expeditiously, so that at least things can be settled. Look, it seems to me, I must be frank with you, that political solution has hit the rocks. There's no prospect of political solution to this matter. Because Sharif himself said he's not going to respect any meeting conveyed by President Goodluck Jonathan.
On the oncoming Anambra governorship election, the group allayed fears that there will be multiple candidates from the party. In Abuja, Abdullahi Garba Kudu, NTA News.
And the three-man panel of judges headed by Justice Hamid Badamasi over the Edo State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal has dismissed the petition of the People's Democratic Party challenging the September 28, 2016 election in its inability to prove its case beyond all reasonable doubt.
The judgment, the tribunal chairman, Justice Hamid Badamasi, dismissed the petitions of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, on two major grounds. They include the allegation of corrupt practices and non-compliance with the electoral guidelines in the conduct of the election. The tribunal chairman maintained that PDP abandoned the pleading of the corrupt practices and focused on the non-compliance with the said guidelines and could not provide substantial evidence to prove that the election was fraught with irregularities. He further said that the petitioners could not link their evidence to their case, pointing out that the witnesses called could not also give credible testimonies to prove that there were indeed infractions in the areas they monitored during the election. He therefore dismissed the petitioner's case for lack of evidence to prove their case beyond all reasonable doubts.
Very nice judgment. We are happy about it. The court reviewed the evidence, did a fantastic job. We are quite pleased with it.
Our next line of action will depend upon the view of our client on the matter. You know, it is his right to appeal against it. So until the judgment is obtained, I think not much may be done.
The judgment delivered this Friday marked the end of the tribunal sitting on the 28th September 2016 Edo governorship election petitions, which started since January 11 this year from the tribunal premises here in Benin. Steve Lona in Waukolo, NTA News.
And here are reactions that trailed that judgment.
Governor, who was surrounded by security personnel in mufti and in uniform, as well as APC supporters, described the tribunal's judgment as a victory for democracy. He reaffirmed his administration's commitment towards the well-being of the state and called on the people of the state, irrespective of party affiliations, to work with his administration in order to take the state to the next level.
This judgment has now rekindled my energy to work for the people of Edo State. In this judgment, the people of Edo State have a renewal. We hope that this will be the last time we will have petty petitions challenging the will of our people.
Like the judges said, there was really no case. Edo people voted for Governor Basiki, they voted for APC, and APC remained the preferred party in this great state.
Governor Basiki and his wife were joined by the former governor of the state, Adams Oshomole, some APC officials and supporters on a victory march in some major streets of Benin City. In Benin, I am Goodluck Inaini.
And from politics, we turn to the energy sector. The prospects for the nation's oil and gas sector is getting more promising as activities are now being carried out under a transparent watch. Group Managing Director of the NNPC, Dr. Mekinti Baru, gave this assurance during a meeting with media chief executives in Abuja. Mia Ogidi reports.
The oil and gas sector is always at the center of public attention, being the mainstay of the nation's economy. To this end, ensuring integrity and transparency in its management is key. But within 2 years of the present administration, far-reaching policies and achievements have been recorded in the NNPC, bearing in mind the fragile security situation in the oil-rich Niger Delta region. To sustain these achievements, NNPC considers the media as a critical partner in enlightening the public on activities that are counterproductive in the sector. Hence, this interactive session with the media executives. Group Managing Director of the NNPC, Dr. Mekinti Baru, told his guests some major achievements. Prominent among are the monthly operation and financial report, opening up of bids for contractors, cordial relationship with the labor unions, which has led to the availability of petroleum products, recovery of over 130 million barrels of missing petrol, valued at 14 billion naira, reconciliation of debts owed to NNPC from the swap agreement, and signing off of agreement to exit the joint venture cash call. With all these efforts, what is the state of the nation's oil and gas reserve?
Aside increasing the nation's oil and gas reserves to 37 billion barrels, we have also restarted exploratory activities in the Gongola Basin with the aim of further growing our oil and gas reserves. Through your daily reportage of our activities and operations, you have remained a leading voice in the fight against unwholesome activities of crude oil theft.
The media, on its part, is resolute in putting relevant government agencies on check in an objective manner.
It's not that they will not talk about the things that fall short, but let them be constructive in their criticism.
That we will be, as always, guided by objectivity rather than subjective emotions.
Such collaborations with the media will enable the media executives to get facts right in informing the public. Mie Ogidi, NTA News.
The arrangement, which places emphasis on disproportionate overseas scholarship scheme, is not sustainable and needs to be reversed to allow for beneficiaries to be trained in Nigerian universities. Executive Secretary of the Petroleum Technology Development Fund, Dr. Bello Aliu Guzo, stated this during an interactive session with Vice Chancellors of federal universities, where a new strategic agenda that will govern the training and capacity building programs of the fund was discussed.
The kind of scholarships we offer are disproportionately in foreign universities, but we want to reverse that trend so that the bulk of the scholarships that are on offer here will be in Nigerian universities. So, but for us to do that, we need to agree on certain terms.
PTDF, as a petroleum development training fund, has demonstrated adequate responsibility, has demonstrated adequate interest in changing the knowledge industry in our country.
The Vice Chancellors agreed that the PTDF new strategic direction will strengthen the capacities of Nigerian universities in carrying out teaching and research programs, as well as transform the study and learning environment. Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities, SANU, has urged the federal government to protect whistleblowers in Nigerian universities. SANU President Samuel Ugokwe stated this after staging a protest on the alleged victimization of whistleblowers by some universities in the country. Abdullahi Musa Suleja has details.
Since introduction of whistleblower initiative of government last year, Nigerians have been calling for protection of whistleblowers and those who may be wrongly accused of financial crime. Members of the association began the protest march from Gwagwaladamini campus of the University of Abuja to the main campus. The SANU president accused management of 4 universities in the country of victimizing their members for blowing against financial mismanagement.
There was whistleblowing in the University of Agriculture, Abuja, Federal University of Technology, Akure, University of Abuja, and the Plateau State University, Bokos.
Meanwhile, the student union government of the University of Abuja has described the peaceful protest by the SANU as an effort to disrupt their academic activities. At a media briefing, the SUG president Ajiboye Abdulrazak said, while the students are not against the legitimate demand of SANU, the timing is wrong. In Abuja, Abdullahi Musa Suleja, NTA News.
You're still watching NTA Network News. We're reaching you live from Abuja. And for celebrations of the Good Friday in Lagos and business news, we now join Vera in our Lagos Network Center. Compliments of the season to you, Vera.
Same to you for me and to all Nigerians. Good evening and a very warm welcome to Lagos. As Nigerians celebrate Good Friday today in commemoration of the crucifixion of our Lord Jesus Christ, churches in Lagos reenacted the Lord's journey to the cross. This, they say, is to bring home the reality of what Lord Jesus went through for the redemption of mankind. Abolede Salami, who witnessed one of such processions, now reports.
Among the churches is St. Dominic's Catholic Church, Yaba. Members of the church and their friends organized a procession termed Stations of the Cross to reenact the sufferings of Jesus Christ on Good Friday by carrying the cross to Golgotha, or Calvary, where he was crucified. The pastor of St. Dominic's Catholic Church, Yaba, Reverend Father Felix Onomege, urged Nigerians to reflect on the selfless sacrifice by Jesus Christ in their lives.
We have to give value to the world, the Christian value, the Christian gospel, the message of Christ, the message of faith, the message of hope.
Jesus, he came to serve us, and he has asked us to go and serve one another.
He said Nigerians should show love to one another, especially the less privileged in the society. Some parishioners speak.
Our Lord Jesus Christ redeemed the whole world, not only the Christians.
The whole essence is to mortify the flesh and also for us to stop sinning.
Good Friday is a significant Christian festival as it forms part of the basis of Christianity. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
Public holiday offers an opportunity for workers in public and private sectors to take time off their busy schedule to relax. However, there are some professionals whose jobs keep them on duty even on public holidays. Musa Tolia tells us more on essential service workers in Lagos.
They are found at strategic parts of the Lagos metropolis carrying out their legitimate responsibilities. These essential service workers cut across various professions, including emergency management, security, traffic and road safety agencies, as well as environmental sanitation management and broadcast media.
And they will come in any moment from now.
Doing public holiday like this, there's more challenges. Because a lot of people are out there to celebrate, and along the line, you have some people that are overzealous. We work in synergy, in cooperation, in cohesion with all other security agencies, not in competition, to make sure that we have a wonderful period to celebrate, to make sure that crime and criminality is reduced to the barest minimum.
We're on essential services, and there is no holiday for any road safety personnel. Not at this period. You know that if we are to be market people, we say this is our season. This is the peak of our job. We are able to make up with private sector participation and stakeholders collaboration, having the private tow truck operators helping us strategically located so that we were able to remove obstructions promptly.
Some are placed on red alert should there be emergencies such as building collapse, traffic road crashes, and fire incidents. In Lagos, Musa Tolia, NTA News.
And now to business. As Nigerians observe the Easter holiday, commercial activities in most parts of the country slowed down. Let's join Amaechi Pius on our business news segment for reports on commercial activities within the Lagos metropolis on a Good Friday.
It's Good Friday and nice to have you join us on business news. The hustle and bustle associated with parts of Lagos, especially the business district, was absent today as most residents observed the Easter holiday. A visit to some business spots in the metropolis revealed that a few shops opened for business, while the streets that are often a beehive were devoid of the usual human and vehicular movements. Few traders displayed their wares indiscriminately on parts of the road and complained of low patronage.
Ordinary days are better than today because there's no sales, everywhere is dull, people are not coming out. Because even if you come out, the transportation and everything, at the end of the day, you see that you go home empty-handed.
Today is very good for us. We see passenger and there's no traffic in Lagos Island. Today no, nothing at all, nothing but no customer.
We are not selling. Bad market today. At the former window, offices of commercial banks, corporate businesses, and the Nigerian Stock Exchange are also under lock and key. Meanwhile, most Nigerians, especially Christians, are making last-minute shopping for the Easter celebration on Sunday the 16th and Monday the 17th of April. And that's business news. Enjoy the rest of the holiday. Good evening.
You're still watching the NTA Network News, reaching you from the Lagos Network Center. We have more reports ahead on the news from Abuja when we return after this time out. Please stay with us.
Let's pepper them. So tell somebody to tell everybody to come join Maya, baby. I did bring too much sauce. Glow Mega Music Talk. It's gonna be a mad over your 10. You're ready to read a show stoppers.
I'm your host for the biggest show ever.
If you miss the stuff, you're gonna miss everything. So join me, guys. Let's turn up.
We'll be storming across Nigeria. I won't be anywhere else.
Everyone who is anyone is going to be there.
All Nigeria's A-list musicians.
One big stage.
Live and direct.
Glow Mega Music Tour all over Nigeria.
So watch out because we dey come. Let's go!
It's the Glow Mega Music Tour with your favorite anchors and special guest stars. It's gonna be untamed. Text music and your preferred location to 207. Use 2,000 Naira Glow airtime in 1 month to stand in line for your free ticket. So what are you waiting for? The Glow Mega Music Tour. Glow Unlimited.
This must be one of Mother Nature's greatest gifts. But there's something else it gives us. When we see such beauty, we want to share it with those we love. That's what LG wants you to see. Just what we see now through our technology. LG OLED TV.
It's finally here, the most anticipated sports show on live television, featuring great sports icons from ex-internationals to famed journalists and administrators. It doesn't come bigger than the Sports Parliament. Be a part of the biggest sports talk show on television to help chart a successful path for Nigerian sports. 11 p.m. to midnight on Thursday on the NTA. Sports Parliament, where the eggheads converge.
Nigerians. Suicide bombers are not spirits. They are not ghosts. They are human beings like you and me. They live amongst us. They are your neighbors. They are your friends today, but terrorists tomorrow. So you must know your neighbor now. Security begins with you and me. Know your neighbor. Be vigilant. Be security conscious. Report suspicious persons, objects, and movements to the police and other security agencies. The security of our nation is a duty for you and me.
If you see something, say something. Nigeria unite against terrorism. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
You're still watching the NTA Network News, and thanks for being there. Newly rehabilitated Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport's Abuja runway has come alive with Category 2 airfield lighting system tested in the night ahead of the scheduled reopening of the airport. The testing of the runway lighting is usually the last thing to be done after reconstruction work. Emmanuel Ayimero reports.
The different kinds of light you see help the pilot to land at night. Any major airport runway like Abuja Airport at night will give you an impression of different kinds of lights, ranging from flashing white or yellow to steady red and blue. Without the lights, no pilot can land on the runway. Weather condition is a major determinant of the kind of standard of light on the runway. Experts say Nigeria weather is suitable for Category 2.
Once it's completed, that will be on Sunday evening. All the lights will be on. Right now, the taxiways are not working yet. The standard is, let's say, almost the highest we have. There's still Cat 3, but only about 120 airports worldwide achieve that. And actually, Cat 3 is not really required in Nigeria because Cat 3 means a visibility between below 350 meters, which means you have heavy fog, snowfall, things like that.
From both ends of the runway, the approach light was equally tested to complement the newly installed runway lighting.
It's purely a visual aid, telling the pilot that this is the beginning of the runway, and the pattern established also allows him to know when the runway ends, and of course he knows where the edges are.
The runway lightnings have been fixed. We are hoping by Monday the calibration will take place. And once that is done, Abuja Airport will be opened on the 19th.
Apart from the runway, taxiways lighting and the apron lights are also being attended to. Emmanuel Ayemiro, NTA News.
And cheering news there to Abuja residents. Towards the fulfillment of government policies and the willingness to reposition the civil service as a tool for positive change, the Savicom unit is being reawakened. Consequently, the head of service of the Federation, Winifred Oyoita, has inaugurated the ministerial Savicom unit in her office. Adebola Brookslyn Sunday reports.
Inaugurated for a sustainable and enduring change in service delivery. Members of the unit are saddled with the responsibility of improving the well-being of the citizenry through timely, fair, honest, effective and transparent service delivery.
Come up with standards that are realistic and easily implementable.
National Coordinator Savicam Nnenna Akajameli, who appealed for speedy passage of legislation to back the activities of the units, decorated the head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Winifred Oyoita, and permanent secretaries said the change must begin with them. This, Mrs. Oyoita affirmed.
Servicom started in 2004, but somehow along the line, the interest wavered and petered out. Now, in line with the change agenda of this administration under President Muhammadu Buhari, we need to reactivate Servicom.
The House of Rep and the senators are also very passionate because they want to establish an act that would better drive this process so that indeed the lives of Nigerians will be better touched.
The Service Compact, also known as Savicom, was established to enhance the quality of service delivery to Nigerians. Adebola, Brooklyn Sunday, NTA News.
You're still watching NTA Network News. President Buhari urges Nigerians to use culture as a tool for national unity and integration. Let's now join Asimao in our Sokoto Network Center for details. Compliments of the season, Asimao.
Hello, for me, compliments of the season to you too. Good evening and welcome to Sokoto. President Muhammadu Buhari has urged Nigerians to use their cultural diversity in promoting national unity and integration. Usman Abdullahi Shehu reports that the president stated this at the closing ceremony of Ohola Traditional and Cultural Festival of Zuru Emirate in Kebbi State. The report.
President Muhammadu Buhari, who was represented by the Minister for Youth and Sport, Mr. Solomon Dalong, said Nigeria is a multicultural and multi-religious society, and its strength lies in harnessing unity in diversity. He urged Nigerians to abandon hateful speeches and negative campaigns to move the nation forward.
We must maximize our diversity to promote national unity and integration.
The acting governor of Kebbi State, Alhaji Sama'ila Yembe, described the occasion as an important milestone of collective effort to promote rich cultural heritage and a process to encourage unity and peace among the diverse ethno-religious groups in Zuru Emirate and Nigeria as a whole. The Emir of Zuru, Major General Muhammad Sani Sami, retired, who lauded the effort of stakeholders for ensuring success of the 2017 Uhola Festival, said it is a symbol of unity showcasing the cultural heritage and tradition of Zuru people. The Uhola Festival is a cultural event that marked the end of farming season and a period of initiating youths into adulthood.
The Sultan of Sokoto, Muhammad Saad Abubakar III, has called for aggressive efforts from all stakeholders in combating the spread of the cerebrospinal meningitis across the country. He remarked that traditional rulers and non-governmental organizations have greater role to play in assisting the government combat the epidemic. Aminu Bello Kaoji completes the story.
The Sultan was speaking while receiving the officials of the National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives, led by the President, Abdurrauf Adeniji, in his palace. He appreciated the effort of all stakeholders in combating the spread of the disease, but stressed the need for all hands to be on deck until the situation is completely brought under control. While acknowledging the contribution of nurses and midwives in tackling the spread of the disease, the monarch advised them to continue with the good work of saving lives of the people across the country. National President of the Association, Abdurrauf Adeniji, disclosed that the association is donating vaccines and other drugs worth 1 million naira for the treatment of patients of meningitis in Sokoto. Accompanied by other officials, the president later presented the vaccines to the State Commissioner of Health, Dr. Balarabe Shehu Kakali, for use at the Murtala Muhammad Hospital, where the patients are being treated. In Sokoto, Aminu Bello Kaoji, NTA News.
And that's our package from Sokoto. Is back to Fumi in Abuja for more on Network News. Good evening.
Many thanks, Asmao. Do you know that indiscriminate and unprescribed use of antibiotics can lead to resistance to the drug, damage vital organs, and wastage in the body? Well, the Association of Medical Laboratory Scientists of Nigeria, while marking the 2017 World Biomedical Science Day, said these factors influence the trend, which globally is threatening human health and productivity. Health correspondent Rashidat Mustafa has the details.
Antibiotics are medicines used to treat infections caused by bacteria. But poverty, ignorance and weak regulation by relevant bodies have led to misuse and abuse of the drugs, resulting in antibiotic resistance, which has undermined the idealistic hope that bacterial infections will cease to be an important cause of death and diseases. It is in view of this that the association urge its members to decisively respond to the threat and engage in proper methods for detecting infectious agents.
The more seriousness we ascribe to this rule, the more or the less the resistance to antibiotics. The laboratory is well positioned for us to clearly say that this organism is sensitive to this and is not sensitive to that.
On the recent meningitis outbreak in the country, the association noted lack of political will and disorder as factors responsible for the total collapse of locally manufactured bacterial vaccine, noting that vaccines produced using local strain tend to be more potent than those produced with foreign strain. International Biomedical Laboratory Science Day is observed to create awareness on the roles biomedical scientists play in healthcare diagnosis. Rashidat Mustafa Olagunju, NTA News.
And when we come back, we'll bring you a review of sports parliament, global tidbits, weather, and more. We'll be back in just a moment.
Following the approval of the whistleblowers policy by the Federal Executive Council and its launch by the Minister of Finance, Mrs. Kemi Adeosun, patriotic Nigerians have been making inquiries on how and where they could deliver information that could lead to the stopping or uncovering of fraud to the appropriate authority and answers to frequently asked questions. The Federal Minister of Finance has therefore dedicated a telephone line for receiving SMS, a whistleblowers portal, and an email address through which members of the public who volunteer to disclose information about a possible misconduct or violation could deliver such information for the attention of the team dedicated to process such information.
This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, is working to ensure access to safe, good quality essential medicines with the World Health Organization pre-qualification of made in Nigeria pharmaceutical products, stiffer penalties for fake drug offenders with a review of NAFDAC laws, national, regional, and international collaborations, cutting-edge technologies, including the mobile authentication service.
NAFDAC impacts upon everything we do, including water we drink, the food we eat. They are important organs to the development of this country. And everybody should come out and join them and support them and help them to achieve the greatest benefits and success that they need to record.
Let us support NAFDAC to win the war against fake drugs and other unwholesome regulated products. NAFDAC, safeguarding the health of the nation.
You're still watching NTA Network News. Key players in the telecommunications sector are meeting in Enugu to brainstorm on best ways to sanitize the sector. The workshop, organized for law enforcement agencies, became necessary owing to the increase in crime perpetrated using ICT. Beauty Ehobame reports.
The NCC has over the years initiated several programs aimed at impacting on other sectors, guided by the correlation between ICT usage and social development. The Executive Vice Chairman of the Nigerian Communications Commission, Professor Umar Dambanta, represented by the Health Compliance Monitoring and Enforcement, EPOSAIDE, explains that the meeting is to form a coalition of forces in a renewed strategic partnership with all players in the security sector, especially as the NCC contributes significantly to the GDP of the country.
The long-term objective is to enhance our ability to regulate effectively in order to consolidate the exponential gain recorded in the telecom industry in Nigeria.
Head Enforcement NCC, Salisu Abdu, noted that the Commission has continued to exercise its enforcement power to improve operators' performance. A legal practitioner, Paul Usoro, SAN, in this paper explains that most of the telecommunications offences are technical and outdated. He advocated a review of the law and the establishment of a court dedicated to the prosecution of telecommunication offences.
The law enforcement agencies also cooperate with the NCC and the service providers. That also matters. That's part of the reason why we are here today. Then we also talk about training for judges, because you can only judge when you even know what you are, the evidence that's being presented before you.
Other stakeholders, including the representative of the Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris, and the former Inspector General of Police, Solomon Arase, said crime is super dynamic. Therefore, only super dynamic police can confront it head-on. The zonal program, which has so far held in Lagos, Kano, and Port Harcourt, is to get every stakeholders to work with NCC in the area of fighting cyber and related crimes. In Enugu, Beauty of Obame, NTA News.
United States bombing of ISIS tunnels in Afghanistan kills 36 as hope rises in the manhunt for jihadist bombers that killed Egyptian Palm Sunday Christian worshippers last week. Details with Ogechi Paul on Global Tidbits.
Described as the most powerful non-nuclear bomb ever used by the U.S. in combat, the Afghan Defense Ministry said the bomb struck the 300-meter-long network of caves used as a base by the ISIS fighters in Nangarhar province and left about 36 of them dead. No civilian was affected by the explosion, coordinated with the support of the Afghan government. In the meantime, Egyptian authorities say they have identified the second of two jihadist bombers who targeted captive Christian Palm Sunday services last week, killing 45 people. Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi pledged to hunt down the perpetrators of the bombing, for which the Islamic State group claimed responsibility. A Ugandan academic, Stella Yanzi, detained for alleged serial cyber criticisms of long-term President Yoweri Museveni, has resisted attempts to forcibly carry out psychiatric tests on her, describing the alleged incident as an attack on her dignity. That's Global Tidbits. Ogechi Paul.